My name is Jim Cavanaugh. I am the Justice of the Peace of Precinct 4, and I have been so for about 3 years and 8 months, 9 months so far. It's the first time I ever held any office. By way of background, grew up in Texas, wasn't born here, but moved here very quickly, just like my father, and got back here as soon as I retired. I started off as a school teacher, became a police officer in Houston, Harris County, and then I went to law school in South Texas College of Law. I was recruited for the FBI by J. Edgar Hoover, and I became an FBI agent for 27 years. I retired from the FBI here to Brown County. My wife and I chose to come here because we wanted to live in this county. We think it's a fantastic county. We love the people here. After 9/11, a bunch of us retirees were called back to do things, to conduct investigations on some of the terrorist plots that were going on. And while doing so, I met a bunch of people that asked me to run for Justice of the Peace, which I chose to do in 2006. I've been in office since January of 2007 and trying to get reelected again, and I would appreciate consideration. I know you're all Democratic, but I think it's open up to everybody that wants to vote for the most qualified person. I believe I am the most qualified person. As far as the JP office is concerned, JP4 particularly, when I came in, we had over $600,000 in accounts receivable. Anybody here that operates a business, if you think you can operate when somebody owes you $600,000 plus, you've got a pipe dream. So we started a process to reduce the accounts receivable without any cost to the taxpayers. We have reduced it down to the below $300,000 at this time, and we will continue to do so. The JP office, Precinct 4, handles over 1,000 cases a year. They range from the simple traffic ticket to the civil suits up to $10,000. And if you're suing somebody for $10,000, you don't consider it minor, neither do I. As far as having conversations, it's illegal. You cannot talk to one party without the other. That's called an ex parte communication. So you may want to be nice with all of the people who are coming for you. You cannot do that because you'll find yourself down in Austin answering questions from the Judicial Ethics Commission. It would be unfair for me to sit and talk with the police officer who wrote you that ticket, just as it would be unfair for you to sit down and talk to the person who got the ticket. They have to both come before you independently. If the person who got a ticket asks for a trial, they have a right to a trial by judge or a trial by jury. It's your choice. And then we will hear the evidence that is presented either from the police officer or from yourself. But you cannot go around and have conversations with people who are appearing before you. And I hope my opponent will learn that if she does win the election. In our office, you will handle dead bodies. You will get called out all hours of the day and night, and you are responsible for determining the cause and manner of death. That means you get on your hands and knees and you conduct an inquiry. And you just conduct an inquest, formal or informal. If you need an autopsy, you order an autopsy, and it's conducted by the medical examiner in Tarrant County in my case. And they will come up with an exact cause of the death, and you make a final ruling. And the rulings you make have to be done intelligently because people's lives are affected by that. Your insurance benefits, any civil suits or litigation you may have against a doctor, a hospital, or somebody causing the death. And if the JP gets it wrong, you're going to pay the price. So a JP has to know what the heck they're doing. As far as magistrations, each of us takes a day and we magistrate all of the people who are arrested in this county. So far, I've done almost 1,700 of them in the last 3 years and 10 months in the Brown County Jail. I have to set the bail. A bail cannot be punitive. It has to be a reasonable bail. And the only things that are under consideration is if that person going to flee and not appear for trial, or is that person a danger to the community? And I must set the bail accordingly. You can't arbitrarily do it because good old Joe is a friend of mine and I feel sorry for him. You can't do that. We also issue mental commitments where we determine if somebody needs to be committed to a mental institution for 72 hours for an evaluation. We do that on those that are threatening suicide or threatening harm to others. MHMR will call me all hours of the day and night respond to the emergency room, or I'll meet them at their offices, and we will sign a commitment order. JP must be prepared to back that up with affidavits that this person is mentally ill and in such a danger. We also issue Class C warrants for those who chose to blow us off and ignore our tickets. I've signed almost 1,000 of them in the last 3 years. Our precinct has brought in over $700,000 since I took office. $708,000, in fact, it's more than that this month. That money has to be accounted for, and we've had outside audits. We just completed our outside audit by Mr. Stark, the CPA, and we're right down to the penny. Not one dime is missing or unaccounted for. We do it by computer, because since I came to office, we put in a new computer system at no cost to the taxpayers. We established a system prior to my taking office. If you got a traffic ticket, you had to pay the full amount at one time. There are no partial payments. So if you got a ticket for $300 or $400, you had to come up with that money. That was stupid. So at no cost to the taxpayers, we set it up. You can put it on your credit card. You can pay it out any way you want to pay it. And if you want to pay it all in one time, we're glad to do it. But if you don't have it, I give everybody a 30-day extension right off the bat. You need another 30 days, I'll give you another 30 days. As long as you're making an effort to take care of business. And with that, we have increased the revenues to over $700,000 in the last 3 years. All right? Now, there are several things that I'd like to do, that I want to complete. And that's why I'm asking for re-election. I want to get the accounts receivable down as low as possible. You'll never get it to zero, because you always have new tickets coming in and new revenues that are due to the county. But the object is to keep it as low as possible. We will keep it as fair as possible. We're not railroading anybody. We have civil trials all the time, 2 or 3 a week. Jury trials and bench trials, as we call them. Everyone will get a fair shake. Everybody will have their say. And when I issue a ruling, you will get a copy of the ruling that day certified. And if you wish to appeal, you may appeal. So far, I have never been reversed in any case. So all of my rulings have stood up in the appellate courts. I'm asking for your vote, even though you are from the opposing party. I think if you check out the credentials of myself and my opponent, you'll find that I am the most qualified for this. And I would appreciate your consideration